All right. This is Two Guys in Tinfoil Hats. We're just two guys talks about a lot of politics and we talks about a lot of things in life. And the thing is, we just talk. So we decided we'll just record it and see if anybody bites. So, I got over here Dan, the Dan. Say something, Dan.
Dan.
Okay. He's on the computer, just looking up shit. Make sure that we're correct on some of the facts we'll bluster out. But we'll just talk. All right.
So what do you want to talk about, Monty?
Well, I had a few things on the list. Oh, I'll tell you. WWE's coming to town.
Yeah.
Okay. I ordered a ticket because they went on sale Friday morning, 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
I was on the phone at 10:15. And did you know the ticket came in yesterday?
Really? It already came in?
Yeah, I phoned it in. I'm guessing that's what it was. Phone. Yeah. Let's see.
When are they coming to town?
It's going to be April 15th. And I haven't even looked through my other dates of shit I was going to be doing.
Yeah.
So I got summer's going to be collective and it's only select a few things I can do.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to getting out of town. But, let's see, I got here, wrote down. Oh. National Security Advisor General Flynn. Now, did you hear?
It's a good topic. I don't know much about Flynn.
Well, I don't either, you know. Let's see here. National Security Advisor. Now, he's an advisor. Before I bore everybody out of this, because I'm just I'm thinking.
Yeah.
It was something about him talking to Russia or something before.
Yeah, there's the whole Russian thing where they're trying to claim that Russia has ties to Trump and he has ties to Flynn, and so because of those ties, he had to resign or he was forced to resign or whatever.
Okay.
There's got to be more to that than just
it's
the Russians. I don't know.
And I agree with people that are saying, oh, they're making a big, exploding with information on this.
Yeah.
He was an advisor, national security advisor, so he would talk to people like that, to Russians, other advisors, I'm guessing.
He has to speak with other countries, ambassadors, right, advisors, and whatnot, and get an idea of what's going on in the whole world, not just in America, but.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
So is it that he did it before Trump got elected, or?
It was probably trying to claim that it was all part of during the election process. It was all part of that whole thing where our election was influenced by the Russians, and our current administration has been talking to the Russians and dealing with them, and Putin's a horrible guy and all this kind of stuff. But I don't really think they're all that bad.
Oh. You're going to jump on that bandwagon, are you?
I don't know. I don't. I don't want to really be enemies with Russia. I don't see a reason to be.
I agree with that. You see, that's what and it's something the president could have said. Yeah. I disagree with his methods.
Right.
But and probably talking to him on a personal level, I don't know. I
mean, if you look at what we did to the Russians during the Cold War and after, it was like we. What's that book? Confessions of an Economic Hitman, where they purposely destroyed Russia's economy because we knew they were going to be bigger than us. They were going to, be a second superpower or try to be the number one superpower. So we had to weaken their economy, and we did. We destroyed it. That's why they're so poor to this. That's why their country's so poor to this day.
And everyone talks about them invading and stuff. They got a few things they can do to invade, and that's nothing. It's like those old propaganda movies in the 80s that I watched when I was a kid. They were standing in line for toilet paper.
Right.
So, but going back to the Flynn guy, talking to the Russians before or whatever. I mean, I don't know. And there was another thing because of that controversy brings about controversy because that Kellyanne Conway girl.
Yeah.
She said some information. She was on the Today Show. And this is how much I don't understand all this shit. You know, because she was saying one thing. Of course, she was on the fucking Today Show. Okay?
Right.
The only show that she can legitimately get interviewed is Fox News.
Yeah. Everybody else they're all biased, so they don't give her a chance. Even though I don't know where she came from or why she's been the face of the whole, Trump administration or whatever, and she's the one they all seem to look to, but I don't know much about her background, so I don't know. But
yeah, she from what she was saying, some things, and then Dan Rather's like, oh, that doesn't make any sense because this happened before, and they're all looking at the timelines of all these things.
Yeah.
And I guess timelines of some tweets, maybe.
What did you know and when did you know it?
Right. And that just, it's so fucking confusing.
See, okay, in 2001.
Okay.
And then after he withdrew from the race in July, then Donald senior advisor, because I mean he pretty much trashed Ted Cruz, but
yeah,
but he did have a good campaign, I suppose. He got pretty far along.
Yeah, he got pretty good.
So it's like Bannon and Conway, I guess, are kind of running the counselors to the president. It says. Conway has been embroiled in a series of controversies, including the coining of the phrase alternative facts to defend untruths, the seeming invention of the non-event, the Bowling Green massacre, to further an argument.
Oh, the Bowling Green thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The fake terrorist. Oh, yeah, the fake terror story. But, I mean, it had something to do with Homeland Security in a little ways, but it wasn't any kind of massacre or anything.
Right.
Like that. Okay, well, that's some misinformation. And I can give her a pass on that. She don't know any better.
Yeah.
And here's an example why I think Trump's the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you see that right there? Trump trolled over a remark about Sweden.
Yeah, I saw that.
Have you heard about this yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay, here's what happened. Yesterday, he gave a speech in Florida. And he was talking about why immigrants are so bad and everything. And he said, look at Sweden. Horrible things have happened in Sweden. And after he said that, a Twitter storm happened, of course.
Of course.
And Sweden is wondering, what happened here.
Yeah.
And I think he got his information wrong. I think he was wanting to talk about Paris and Nice.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's what he was thinking about, but he just didn't get the words out right.
It didn't come out that way.
Or he just doesn't know any better, like Kellyanne Conway.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say the guy's not smart, but no one's, everyone's smart at something, but dumb at others.
Right. Yeah, it says at the rally, Trump told his followers to look what was happening in Germany and also mentioned Paris, Brussels, and Nice in an apparent reference to the terror attacks there. He didn't specify what was supposed to have happened in Sweden, simply saying Sweden. Who would believe this? Sweden. Yeah. He's really shocked that it would happen there. And then, of course, they in the news in the morning they always show the Trump's tweets for the week or whatever, which I think is kind of funny.
I see and know what they're going to talk about on the news before I get out of bed.
Exactly, and then you know what the comedy shows are going to talk about late night. They're all going to be on the same thing. Oh, President Trump tweeted, or he said this or did that, or he's bullying somebody or whatever it may be.
Yeah, see, that gets a little annoying.
It really does. It's just that cycle of fake news like he talks about.
Well, and my parents watch that shit every fucking morning.
Yeah. I watch ABC News every morning just to see what the topic, because they start with Trump and then they go to weather. If there's any kind of weather in the country, it's like immediately, there's storms here and there's major flooding and sinkholes in California and all that kind of stuff. They'll always cover that first, or the second story. But the main story is Trump, which is something that I've heard a lot about, is that Trump he's been in the media nonstop since the beginning of his campaign.
Nonstop.
He's just constant. There's no break from him being the number one story constantly.
But yeah, the comedy thing, watching those like Stephen Colbert, his whole monologue is nothing but Trump, and like I'll selectively watch, because some of it's generally funny.
Right.
Like after that news conference he did, or press conference or whatever, he was just going off the line on everything, right?
Right.
Like we were just watching.
Right.
Stephen Colbert. I was going to watch it because I knew he was going to talk about it
Right.
and joke about it, and it was generally funny. And that, I mean, you can pick and choose your Trump jokes, I guess.
Yeah.
Because if you know, because there, it's so predictable right now.
It is.
That you can see something on television the night before and think to yourself, okay, I know this person is going to say something about that.
Yeah.
I wonder how they're going to present it.
Right.
So that's the way I'm looking at it
So
right
when
now.
you follow the news that close and you see
Yeah.
through the daily cycle how it goes,
Right.
it starts in the morning with, oh, Trump said this, and then later on they use that in the comedy shows, and it's just kind of a...
Oh, I'm sure they got
the media cycle.
I'm sure they got a whole slew of writers that write gems all the time.
Speaking of media, this morning I heard a story about that.
Oh,
There
good
was
segue there.
DC mansion, and it was a 6,000 foot DC mansion. They said it burned to the ground. I guess basically the inside of it was burned all up, and they later said they didn't have enough water. They couldn't find enough water. There weren't enough fire hydrants in the area. Of course, this is a 6,000 foot DC mansion, so you think they would
They say
have
DC. That means in Washington.
AC/DC mansion, Washington DC mansion.
Okay.
So it's like and they said they didn't have enough water for the fire trucks. They didn't have enough fire hydrants to put out the fire, so they had to just kind of watch it burn. I was like, well, I wonder whose expensive house that was, And of course, it turns out it was the home of diplomats from the United Arab Emirates who were there.
Huh? No shit.
And so, kind of makes you wonder if it was. They even played on ABC. They played three different excerpts from the 911 calls of the firefighters calling and saying, "I don't have enough water. I can't get enough water. There's no way I can put this out with no water." That was their main thing, and they just let the whole thing burn to the ground. I'm thinking, maybe Trump's got some stuff going on behind the scenes that we don't know, or it could be.
Well,
it could.
That's digging really deep there into the well.
It is.
Bad pun there. But yeah, it, it's kind of like that. Kind of relate. Sort of was this Russian guy that was gonna. I think he was gonna run against Putin. He died mysteriously or something. Oh no, it wasn't. It was. Besides that, because that's an old story. I'm trying to relive in my brain.
It happens.
The newest one is Kim Jong Un's brother, brother-in-law.
Yeah, there
or
were
something?
so many stories that are happening right now. They're really interesting, but that was one.
Yeah.
Two women at the airport supposedly paid to poison him or get rid of him, and no one really knows if it was who did it. They say, oh yeah, it was definitely two women and they did it and they've been arrested and all this kind of stuff, but who really knows how he was killed or why? Maybe he was. I suppose he was next in line. If Kim Jong Un was taken out, then he would be
from
next.
From what my information I got was he was, but he was too of a girly man, I guess you could say. Had a feminine. And if you look at pictures of him, I haven't seen him walk or talk or anything.
Yeah.
But if you look at his face, he kind of looks like kind of a kind of guy.
Right. Not
just
not as tough.
Right. Not a macho kind of thing like Kim Jong Un's got.
So there was that story I heard a couple years ago about Kim Jong Un's, was it his brother or brother-in-law or his family, and he had his uncle murdered, and he had his ex something killed because she had done something really bad. And
I didn't hear about the ex-wife. I know about there
was a whole story about
the one. Yeah, because I've heard a lot of weird execution stories come out of there.
Yeah.
That one is where it was some kind of, I don't know, maybe a soccer field or something.
Right.
But they took the guy and put him there, and they blasted him with all this artillery. So much there was nothing left of him. So they said, oh, he just disappeared.
What about El Chapo? I was going to talk about that too.
I haven't heard about him in the news.
Well, of course I think he escaped twice from a Mexican prison, high security Mexican prison.
Kudos to him.
So I think they finally have him now in official custody, and he's in the U.S. now, I think, and he's not able to escape from where he's at now. But he'll probably be. Something will happen. He'll find a way out. I think to think that he dug the tunnel. Someone must have.
Yeah, that was
dug that tunnel for him.
That was halfway kind of thing.
Yeah, there's no way he did that all himself. I just can't imagine a leader of a drug cartel doing something like that. But
Oh, well, he doesn't have to. Pay people to do
exactly.
that.
He wouldn't have to. He's the top of the food chain.
Right.
So
I agree.
even when he's locked up, he's still in power. So
Yeah. I mean, here's another story that I heard. A quick one was a pigeon that had a cell attached to it. A battery, screen, not a screen, but the touch thing and a microphone or something.
Yeah. And they're trying to get it into the
then until these prisoners were trying to grab this pigeon, people were like, "What the fuck?" And
them using pigeons for different things to transport things in, and I mean obviously they need cell phones to be able to communicate with the outside.
Yeah,
to get
I figure
out.
if you have a cell phone in there and you're one of the higher up guys, you'd be able to get shit done while you're in there.
You get a hold of a pigeon, yeah. It's like, why not?
I mean, you get a lot of shit done actually. Think about it.
I mean,
that sounds actually nice. Think of all the stuff you'd accomplish.
I can get so much done.
Oh man,
great, man. I feel relaxed and get all this stuff worked out.
Time
to think,
That's the last time I was in jail. I did a lot of reading.
Yeah.
It's a good excuse.
Work out or read, I guess. There's not a whole lot you can do. So I was going to talk about, they say Trump is deporting all these illegals now. And he always talked about the deportation force during the election and stuff during the campaign. And that kind of weakened that a little bit. But so they're supposedly kicking families out of the country. But then there was a guy who was talking, I don't remember his name, but he was talking about how Obama deported many more illegals.
We're calling him Deporter in Chief.
Deporter in Chief, yeah. And I never even actually heard that, but I guess that's a real.
I've heard that.
I mean, you don't hear about how many. It's millions of people.
It happened, yeah.
But he also brought in people too. I heard so.
Well, see, and you don't. And there's another thing to add to that. You don't know because these recycled people, the system that they got left or got kicked out, and then back into the system.
Right.
So I don't know if you encounter with the number of people that got deported and put back in at the same time.
Right.
Yeah.
I really don't know.
I don't know what the exact numbers on this. There's a lot of little things to add into that.
Mm.
But yeah, what's going on right now, I would think, is just going through with the laws that are put in place.
Yeah.
But
you mean like enforcing the laws we already
enforcing have? Them, yeah. That certain where I don't think they're cutting corners anymore.
No, it seems like he's taking control and he's just doing everything that should have been being done the last
right. And now people
see
that as aggression.
They see it as like all the trendies and all the people see it as they're attacking us, or he's attacking Muslims, or he's just securing the border, making sure that there's no more drugs coming in, or keeping it to a minimum, I guess.
Oh yeah, I tell you,
keeping people that aren't supposed to be here out. I mean, it's just you can't have a country if you don't have a border to keep people out. I mean, it's just the way it is.
Yeah, you saw that story about the drugs. They found a catapult. Yeah.
They found a catapult.
Catapult in Mexico, right on the border. They say.
Mm.
I saw a picture of it actually. It's not really well designed.
I guess that's old fashioned. That's kind of like Mad Max style.
Yeah, something out of a cartoon.
Yeah.
I imagine they drew the directions on a cocktail napkin or something.
Yeah, you can catapult it. You can fly it in. You can tunnel it in. There's all sorts of different ways to get it across. But
I remember when I saw that picture of the van that had I think it was a van, had a cannon on top of it. Big, like something you'd see at the circus where you put a human in it.
Yeah.
And shoot them off.
Right.
And that's what it looked like. And it's just shoot chemicals. Make you feel good.
Yeah. What was the other thing I was gonna? Oh yeah, so I was looking at Bible prophecy and the Albert Pike.
Here we go.
World War III thing. Just as just something to throw in there at the end. Because you've read the World War II and World War III.
I've heard. I've not.
Prediction about what he thought.
Yeah, I've heard.
See if I can pull it up here. Just as some practice.
Oh, see, you need to keep your face right next.
Right in the
not that close.
Not that close, but right there.
Yeah. The way we can all enjoy your lovely manly voice.
I'm sorry, I'm getting used to it here. So, Albert Pike was a Freemason. Let's see. He wrote a letter to Mazzini.
That sounds about right.
Sounds right. basically it breaks down how the three world wars have been planned for many generations before us. And the First World War was brought about in order to permit the Illuminati to overthrow the power of the Tsar and making that country a fortress of atheistic communism.
Oh.
So, yeah. At the end of the war, communism was built and used in order to destroy the other governments and in order to weaken the religions. I guess that pretty much happened, right?
Well,
I assume. I mean, that sounds right. I have to do a little more research, but anyways.
Yeah. What's wrong with that one film you showed me?
Yeah. The Second World War must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences between the fascists and the political Zionists, so that Nazism is destroyed and the political Zionism be strong enough to institute a sovereign state of Israel and Palestine. But I don't know that. Yeah, after the Second World War, communism was made strong enough to begin taking over weaker governments. Okay. So in the Third World War, this sounds right on the money. If this was predicted back in 1871 or whatever it is. Third World War must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences caused by the agentur of the Illuminati between the political Zionists and leaders of the Islamic world. The war must be conducted in such a way that Islam, the Muslim Arabic world, and the political Zionism, the state of Israel, mutually destroy each other. Meanwhile, the other nations, once more divided on this issue, will be constrained to fight to the point of complete physical, moral, spiritual, and economical exhaustion. We shall unleash the nihilist and the atheist, and we shall provoke a formidable social cataclysm, which in all its horror will show clearly to nations the effect of absolute atheism, the origin of savagery, and the most bloody turmoil. Then everywhere the citizens obliged to defend themselves against the world minority of revolutionaries will exterminate those destroyers of civilization, and the multitude, in disillusion with Christianity, whose deistic spirits will from that moment be without compass or direction, anxious for an ideal, but without knowing where to render its adoration, will receive the true light through the universal manifestation of the pure doctrine of Lucifer, brought finally out in the public view.
All right.
So it's kind of like it all...
Blue's making an appearance.
It's pretty deep, but if that's the plan...
when was this all written and predicted?
Let's see. This was written back in 1871... after Pike received a vision which he described in a letter that he wrote to Mazzini dated August 15th, 1871. The letter graphically outlined plans for 3 world wars that were seen as necessary to bring about the one world order, and we can marvel at how accurately it has predicted events that have already taken place. So you can look back at the 2 world wars and see that it matches up, and if you look at what's going on now, you have the state of Israel, which is stuck in a really bad place.
Right.
They're surrounded by people that want to push them off into the ocean or destroy them, nuke them, kill them in some way. And that's supposed to be the chosen land,
Yeah, that's
chosen land of the Jewish people.
They got a bad rap sitting right there.
They got a really, it's a really horrible situation.
If you go to maps in the Middle East, Middle East, that they show to their children in schools, they don't even have Israel on the map.
Right.
It's very odd.
It doesn't exist. I mean, they don't want it to. So they're they're under attack from pretty much all sides,
Here's something.
So that's what it says in the Bible is that,
I forgot about that point of the Bible. What's the point of the Bible on that one?
It's the chosen land of the Jewish people, and so it's all this stuff is meant to happen, and Trump being put in and him being somewhat of a, I don't know what you call it. I wouldn't call him a savior. I don't know what the word would be exactly. Maybe he's kind of a good guy, or maybe he just wants to do the right thing for the country. I don't know. But
so you think it's prophecies coming true?
They've been saying for a long, long time that the Bible prophecy will eventually come true and Jesus will come back. But
I've been hearing that since I was a kid.
Exactly, that's what my dad said. He's like, I've been hearing that since I was a kid.
And they've been hearing it since they were kids, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
That's what I just don't get. I mean, it's been a long time since there's been, we're talking about wars here, right?
Yeah.
It's been a while. Now, we've had all these pity-patty side wars going on, not in our country.
Yeah.
Except the thing is, it's not like a war. It seems like a more, this right here, this prophecy right here, or the wars that they're talking about.
Pike prophecy.
Right, okay. Yeah. That seems more like a social society kind of thing.
Almost like social engineering or something.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. It's not kind of like a war that a conventional war you would do with guns and
yeah, because
they
realized you couldn't really I think at some point they realized you can't do it just with guns alone. It's better to do it. You can't control people with weapons.
Well, isn't that what people talk about though? It's like,
Yeah.
putting ideas into people's heads, and then it's like a seed that nourishes. Then
Yeah.
you can change the whole. It's like things in society change with generations.
Right.
I mean, if you go another 25 years, that's a whole another generation, like 20 years or whatever it is,
Right.
and it's a whole new outlook on the world.
Yeah.
Pretty much it changes every time. So, without getting too deep into that one.
Yeah, it's like L.A. Marzulli. He talks about how it's like society's changed so much. Think of back in the 1950s, like how many people. If you ask your dad, how many addicts did you know back in the day? How many junkies did you know? How many people? Oh, my cousin's on heroin and he's in rehab and stuff. It's like that wasn't the social norm, but nowadays it's like the standard. Everybody knows somebody who's been through rehab or is on drugs and can't get off, and it's kind of like how far have we gone from the 50s and 60s and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, like the societal change. It's really huge.
It's no joke, because back when I was 16, when I went into that one facility,
yes,
and there was heroin addicts, there was pillheads.
Yeah, all kinds of different addicts.
Growing up, the circle of people that I would associate with just to buy weed or something, they would ask me, like, I'll trade you some pills for your weed. And I was like, no.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want the pills. I wanted the weed.
Yeah.
But that's just like
a side issue, but
it's a side issue.
Like Alex Jones would say.
Yeah.
That's a side thing.
But society, it does change.
Yeah.
And that's one thing. And I think Trump, and speaking on the same subject, but not in too much of a prophecy kind of way.
Right.
I think his thing and what's going on right now is he's trying to change the society all at once to see results. Like, bam.
And that's what people are noticing. I mean, especially people that voted for him are like, actually doing as he was going to do the whole time he was campaigning and promising that he's going to do this. He's doing exactly that.
That drives people insane. And nobody's seen that before.
People on the left crazy. They can't stand it. Just like he's doing. I mean, they just want to poke fun. He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't have any political experience. But if you make a promise and you keep your word,
that's business.
That's business. Yeah,
that's business.
Running the country like a business. I mean, the country is. He's the CEO of the United States of America. If you look it up you can look it up on the internet. The United States of America is a corporation, just like Canada.
They got an LLC.
It's a business. Yeah, they got an LLC, limited liability, right? It's true, they do. So.
Well, that's great. Huh. Yeah. But see, he's taking it like a business, but in this way society is one of the reasons they'll say, or I'll say, he won is because of all the PC nonsense, or people being called racist all the time.
People got so tired of that, and people could see through the media's use of twisting his words and saying, oh, he wants to get rid of all the Muslims and all this kind of stuff. He just wants to tighten up the borders and make everything the way it should have been. Last few years.
The way the ban on the 7 countries.
Yeah.
No. And I watch these. I watch in the morning. I watch the Fox Friends.
You do the Fox thing.
I do the Fox thing.
Yeah.
I'm very curious what they have to say.
I always do the ABC thing for. I just
well, you're stuck.
I torture myself. So.
Well, you don't. Well, I do I watch the Today Show.
Yeah.
Also,